what are we going to get into today? So, my background is in recruitment in the games industry, and now I do basically growth in the games industry. Have multiple lines of business, one of them being building personal brands for gaming founders, another one including doing outbound for those clients. And in addition, we have a monthly mixer, which is soon to be conferences next year. And on top of that, we also have a academy where we train people. We pretty much solve the problem of growth. But this was absolutely not the case for a long time. So when I started the business, I had a long-term vision. The idea here is not to make just money for the sake of it. We want to make money to support families. Why is this very important to me? I want my team, myself, to have a financially and emotionally secure family. That means working less hours for more money, not less hours because we hate work, but because we feel good about our work and we're being more leveraged, right? In the world of 2026, there's a lot of advancements that's happened even since I started my business 2 years ago. So I think it's a bit unfair. A lot of people are doing work in an inefficient way. And because we have to be efficient, because we serve so many clients, that's what today's about. I'm just going to be basically revealing everything and we'll get to it. Okay, great. So, bit of background on me. I used to do 10 hours a day as a recruiter. I used to commute 2 hours to work and back in my first job. In my second job, it was still a good old 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. situation. And I did many mistakes that many people I speak to over the last 2 weeks. I had 40 growth plan calls where I spoke to so many people who needed help. And I did all the same mistakes. So, what is the mistake? Selling myself and my content. Did not do that for 6 months. I didn't do DMs until February. DMs as in serious outbound to help people. And that's completely changed my business. Took way too long looking at the numbers that make sure we can start a business, but also sustain and build it profitably. And took way too long to hire right. Literally a year. So that's me. I'm still in the same bedroom, but I'm moving to an apartment soon. But yeah, used to be just me and my brother in my business. And that's me when I used to be a recruiter. The problem was I was guessing. And I think most people guess. I was very lucky in that when I started my business, I had a community. So then I kept that habit. Anytime I saw someone doing better than me, I basically either paid them or networked my way and got them to teach me their ways. So I've spent over like $80,000, something crazy over the last 2 years just learning. And I feel like many people don't have this mindset, which means they can spend 3 to 6 months on something that isn't really working. And I've got this little funny image here of an ancient PC. So let's get started. The reason why it worked, well, it didn't work, was because I did the right things, but I didn't follow through. So like I was getting attention, but I didn't actually convert in my content for a while. I was sending thousands of connection requests, but I just didn't ask them if they needed my help. And the offer was wrong. I was selling employer branding when I started my business during layoffs. As you can imagine, I got 12 no's in my first week and I had to pivot in my second week. Many people I spoke to in the last 2 weeks are trying to sell something which the market do not need. So this is what I want to solve today. So that's me. First day I moved back to Cyprus back in October 2023. If anyone's followed the journey, you saw me posting content back then. Very smiley, but a lot of pressure to succeed for the fam. So hoping to change some lives today and kind of open some eyes. Alrighty. So when did the moment change? So 2024 October, I did a summit. That's me with my girlfriend. And the funny story there is I wanted to take her to Barcelona. The reason why, she said she always wanted to, but we were only dating for like a month and she wouldn't let me pay for her flight. So I was like, I know what to do. I will tell her I'm hosting a game summit in Barcelona and I got a sponsor to pay for her, which was that little image there. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So then I kind of discovered you can ask people for stuff. So I sent 500 emails to everyone in Barcelona saying, hey, I'm doing a mixer. And 120 people showed up. And that gave me the confidence to start a whole new event business. The reason this happened is because I wanted to seduce my girlfriend, and it worked. We fell in love. But I want this to be very clear. If I didn't have that drive to go and do, I would have never known that's possible. Now we have a 10-person team, and we've done over like 100,000 in sponsorship signed contracts in 3 months, only because I just asked 500 people to come to a mixer and then proved the new model. The issue I was doing is I was thinking, before I started my business, what do I need to do? As soon as I start thinking what I need to do and who do I need to speak to, Everything changed because then anything's kind of possible. You just need to speak to the right person, and then it's just picking priorities. So, bit of a kind of flash of numbers. We're currently doing around 26,000, going to be 30,000 a month. I'm showing this now to see this is all possible in 2 years' time. These will be small numbers for some, bigger numbers for others. I just want you to know that I had zero experience in running a proper business before 2 years ago. And now we have my team there. And this all happened just from posting on LinkedIn, sending one too many DMs, and actually going for it. And also all bootstrapped. So I didn't raise any money to start this business. So yeah, what are we going to get to? No longer a 3-day summit. This is going to be a condensed one, but basically over the last 23 months, I built that business to 10K a month in 90 days, but then I stayed stuck there for a good 8 months because I didn't know how to hire. We are now on track to hit 1 million this year if we continue our current rates, and we've helped over 80 founders get booked calendars and signed, like I said, $100,000 worth of sponsorships in these 2 months. So I just want to share all those lessons here today. And if someone wants to go faster, we can share the details later. So you are here. Thank you for coming. Are we ready? I'm going to quick check in the chat. Hi, Eva. Great. Alrighty. So this is just a quick explanation of the business. So this is my done for you marketing company. This is my event side of the business, which you may have seen on my LinkedIn. This is my training academy, which starts on Monday. And then this is the new site, which I'm planning to start later. So whatever business you're in, I've happened to help quite a few different things. All right. I will wait for the delay to continue, but is that all clear? Does that all make sense? Are we excited? Are we ready to go? I'm going to bring on Ali and we're going to get to work. So let me find the button to bring you onto the screen. How do I see it? Ali. Hide camera. No. Ooh. Audio is off. Hey, Ali.
Hey,
Like my little intro?
I like that advising everyone to invite their girlfriends to Barcelona after a few months. That's an expensive tip.
It's the play, bro. It's the way to do it.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. Is it showtime? What's a nicer thing? There we go. We're bigger.
It's
Great. So I see some yes, I see some Lego. Alrighty. Excited. So we're gonna get started. There is a slight delay, so if I ask a question, I will be yapping until we see your answers. So first things first, agenda. We do a lot, and I'm going to try cover the high level, absolute most important things you need to do, which is why I've got Ali on here, because it's one thing for me to tell you to do it. The British Cypriot who only does this all day, Ali's managed to do it while he was in a 9 to 5 and then land his dream job, also not investing crazy amount of money or time. So I don't want this to be seen like, oh yeah, good for you, Harry. You had 8 hours a day. I did, but now I don't. And Ali's a very good example, which is why I'm just very happy that you're here, man. It's going to be really fun.
It is indeed.
Hell yeah. Okay. So for content, I'm going to make this very interactive. So by the end of this class, we're going to start and never stop posting on LinkedIn, start and never stop converting in the DMs, start and never stop optimizing your numbers. And hopefully for many people here, start building your dream life and business, plus sharing what's happening on Monday. So are we ready? I believe we are. Okay. So I'm going to now share a different screen. And Ali, I will bring you in because I have a way of explaining stuff. And I think sometimes it makes sense, but I would love for you to jump in and say, hey, bro, that's great and all, but like dumb it down, because I want you to be my muse, basically. While I bring up my little spreadsheet, for people who don't know who you are, Ali, do you mind giving a short introduction?
No, absolutely not. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's an afternoon, but maybe it's a bit late for some of you. So really, thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm a game producer, been in game production, being in tech for more than a decade now, been in multiple leadership roles. Start writing on LinkedIn a few years ago, managed to jump from few hundreds to, by the way, I have 40,000. I had 40,000.
Congrats, bro.
Thanks, man. I had 40,000 recently, which was like a goal of mine. I was supposed to hit that last year, so I was a bit short, but I cannot. I'm so happy. And I managed to land my dream job. I've been speaking to almost at every gaming event you could imagine around the globe, and I have my calendar fully booked just due to LinkedIn. I'm not gonna lie to you; it's just as simple as that. And that's why we're here, just to show you how to do it, because we want more people to do this, and it's easier than you expect with the right support.
Exactly that, man. Like it's all possible.
It
Most
isn't.
people get it in their head, and I don't think it's egotistical to say, but I think me and you kind of inspired a lot of people once we started. And we've seen this people start, some people stop, but they're those who continue. Like they're the ones who get the jobs, they're the ones who go on and start a business. Like there's so many people we've seen who didn't stop and like look where they are now. Like Mirko's a good example. Like he just started posting, started like multiple businesses, got a nice job for himself. Like it just
Christian as
works.
well. Christian, I jumped in a call with the
Yeah.
Christian. I gave him a few tips. I cannot take credits more than just a few tips, and now he's like 10, 20K. And we know people in between. We have managed to scale them from 700, 500 to thousands. But numbers is not really what matters in here. It's just numbers and the relevancy and how much you can translate that to opportunities.
Love it. And yeah, Ever also was the one of the first people I spoke to when I started my business. I think we were both entering our like LinkedIn networking game. And yeah, it's so crazy. That was 2 years ago now. Wow. Alrighty, let's get into the source. So, if you remember, Ali, we did a very nice talk in Nordic Game at 5 minute notice. So I want to kind of recreate that energy. I want to say what I think people should do with LinkedIn, and I want everyone in the chat to basically ask questions for each phase. So we're going to cover content first, then we're going to cover outbound, and then we're going to cover offers and scaling. So we're not going to spend, because everyone's got stuff to do and dinner to go, 10,000 hours on each topic, but I want to make it the most valuable parts of each of these. So I'm going to start with the idea side of content. Let's do this. Look at it, Max. It helped me land a great job. Love that. Just from posting on LinkedIn. We love to see it. Okay. Um, let's see if this window works nicely. It could be better.
By the way, Max is my accountability friend. He's the one I share my milestone with.
I
He
love that.
he was the only one knows that what's my goals for 2025 the year before, and I've seen his growth on LinkedIn, and he landed a job that he's so happy with, and he's getting paid nicely. I know the numbers.
I know that. That was sounded sinister for some reason. All right. Let me see if I can make this bigger for everyone. So how is this? So I'm gonna goodbye. Max. Half screen. Ah, I cannot. All right, message hidden. Great. Okay. Again, there is a slight delay because we're using beautiful LinkedIn today instead of Zoom from requests from people. If you can see the screen, because some of you might be on mobile, just let me know if it's not big enough. Yeah. Help me help you basically. Alrighty. So let's use the showtime. Let's put that there. Fantastic. And let's open the screen. Okay, here we go, guys. So, goal for everyone eventually is 5 to 7 posts. Some people will disagree and be like, oh my God, that's a ridiculous amount of posts. I can't even do 2 posts a week, let alone 1 post a week, let alone 7. Why is 5 to 7 possible? I've averaged around 6 posts a week ever since I started. I believe Ali is, you can feel free to jump in here, like 3 to 5, maybe even more.
Yeah, I dropped the numbers a bit. I used to do every day. Then I dropped one during one day during weekend. Then I dropped to 3 to 4. Yes.
Yeah, and that's still fine. Mimosa, it's very tiny. I'm in PC and it's still very small. No worries, guys. Let me see. Obviously, there's a delay, so let me actually make it the main thing. I don't like that. I want my face somewhere. How do we have your face? Thumbnails? Yes. Okay. That works, guys. Thank you. Okay. So this is all based on my own data as of the November I took that screenshot. It's a bit more numbers now, but also my client data. So we've posted over 2,500 times on CEOs of gaming companies over the last 2 years. So this is based on what works for them to build trust and authority. So it's time for an analogy. The way you can post content is to stop treating your LinkedIn like a book. Most people think this is going to be the best thing they've ever posted in their life. That's not how LinkedIn works, especially as of the 12th of March. So literally 7 days ago, one of the engineers posted how the algorithm works and it's changed. So we're going to go over that today. Okay. The problem. Most people's LinkedIn is all adverts. What do I mean by that? So when you post that you're going to a conference, when you post that you've just hired someone, when you post about your new job opportunity, when you post that you've been to a conference, these are like, I'm happy for you, but like, why should I care? If I already know you, I will give you a thumbs up. But am I going to change my opinion about you? You might stay top of mind, but I don't know if you can help me. So it's very important to forget all the fancy words and just think about a radio for a second. So how does a radio make money? The way a radio makes money is it has adverts, of course. But would you listen to a radio station that has no adverts? Yes. The only reason you're listening for the adverts is because there's music. There's three things that makes a radio money. There's the music, the main thing you're there for, and the middle part, which is the banter. If Ali Farha's the DJ, makes jokes, he makes you warm and fuzzy inside. You can text Ali and they reply on WhatsApp. You can play games with Ali. That's banter. That can hook you for a lifetime. Even if you know the music's okay, you know that Ali's going to make a funny joke. So there's three parts that make a radio stick with the listener. There's music, there's the banter with the host, the DJ, and then there's adverts. So we treat LinkedIn the exact same way. I'm going to make this as globally relevant as possible. Music is going to be your bread and butter. So what's music? Radio comes and goes, right? Same thing with your LinkedIn. So depending on your goal for the month, if you ever notice my content, I talk about my event sometimes. I then talk about, for example, the academy that we're launching. I then talk about Hivemind marketing clients and the lessons I'm learning. I talk about my family. I'm doing it very strategically because I'm trying to build trust and influence with a certain type of buyer. Now, everyone here is on LinkedIn to meet other people. We're on jobs and networking platform. Pretty much everyone in this call is not trying to sell $10 PDFs. They're trying to meet other people to either get a job or get them as a client. Let's just boil it down to that. So to build authority with those people, we need music. What is music? For me, the things that work for me, client stories and educational lessons. Breaking mistaken beliefs, that's the biggest one. Showing you understand their pain. And anything with data. I pretty much chunk it up to these 6 posts. So if you stay to the end, you will get this Miro board for the content with a little bonus as a thank you for spending time with us. So if you're trying to take notes, don't worry. If you stay to the end, you will get the Miro. So personal, client, stats, and story equal lesson. Macro story equal lesson. Collab equal lesson. Lesson, lesson, lesson. Big moment for everyone here. You are not posting content that can be found on Google, and that's going to get you to where you want to be. Everything you post, ideally, is something only you should post, or you have such authority in that topic that if you post it, it will do better. Example, if Ali Farha talks about top 10 games of last year, he will get a much better reach for that post because A, LinkedIn sees him as an authority based on his previous content and his profile. And B, his audience expects him to do that. Right? If Elon Musk does a breakdown of another game, of another car company, you're going to tune in, even though anyone else could do that. So be very specific on what you talk about. And now someone might say, I don't have authority. No worries. You have your own personal story. This is the type of post that always slap for our clients and for me. You want to do a big inhale. My 475 days on YouTube, I got these results. I did all of this, and then I got this result, $18,000 from my podcast. Here's a breakdown. But you're going to get it in 1 second. You see what I've done? The LinkedIn post cannot be a book. It needs to be like a newspaper article. You see a headline. This is what it's called, a hook. So if anyone's curious what this part is the hook before the see more. A hook could be the first 5 seconds of a video. It's your decision to continue reading. When you post it on LinkedIn, people will judge you for the hook, visually and text, to see is this worth my time. If you're trying to build trust and authority and you're not trying to get views for views' sake, you can definitely get loads of views and likes on a meme. But a meme will not build trust and authority. So I don't focus on that personally. Another example, personal business, personal update. I've earned 16,000 in August through LinkedIn. I went solo 5 months ago. Here's how I did it. Now, why should I post that post? Well, it builds authority in me growing my company, and I do that for a living. Also, it's personal. Only I could post that. Now, if you aren't selling growth services, Ali Faha, I would love your opinion here. You don't sell growing a company stuff, right? But you also have given plenty of personal updates of your career, your speaking career. Now, how do you think about putting yourself through the content? Like, do you think of it as strategically as me? Like, we're trying to build authority with people. Like, I don't want this to be the money show today, but these are my personal examples. So, like, what do you think about kind of posting personal stories?
Yeah, I mean, this is the only thing I don't believe AI will able to replicate. AI can do connections A to B, B to C, and they can do it really fast. But there's one thing: if you say Barcelona, and if you feed that to AI, Barcelona will connect Barcelona to good weather, a good food, a good people, a good atmosphere. But for me and Harry, it's a different story. It's a rooftop where we said our life is about to change, and no one can tell this except us. So personal stories is something AI will never replicate. This will always ours, and this is gonna be the only thing that's safe from this technology. So you can always find the good story, but then a good story needs to be also attached with something that people can relate to. I'm not saying that you cannot post just personal stuff on LinkedIn, but pure personal stuff like getting married, getting engaged without anything to it. If you overdo it, people won't like it because Harry said something and we keep saying it. People don't care about me, Harry, or you or anyone. They care about what is it for me? What can I like? How can you help me? What I'm benefit? Am I learning something new? Am I found something I'm looking for? Am I solving a problem by looking at your experience? So that's how people look at it. So yes, definitely, you could sell in with the stories 100%, and you can do that with numbers. You can do that with breakdown. You could do that with case studies. Could be done differently. Yeah. So 100% agree, and I believe because the photo you with your brother, whoever take that photo is very talented camera. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
it's me by
Cheers
the
for
way. Yeah,
thank you, Adi.
yeah, but this
No,
one is you and your brother, and there's a lot of psychology behind the photo. There's the Swedish pavilion, so there's a lot of cool stuff, but also numbers showing in there.
yeah, like this was I tend to show more numbers than most people, but my business is growing a business. So like that's how I excuse it. Don't feel like that's a prescription for anyone here.
No, but people love being transparent. People love when we
Hmm.
share the fails. I shared a post 2 years ago about how I did the mistake as a leader, and I failed a member. I was like honest about it. It's like I failed this member by doing this, and that's something we learn. Also, don't share only the wins. Share only the good
Hmm.
stuff, the flashy stuff. That's what we also Harry said. Oh, I got like a what I call promotion. I've been
Yeah,
a speaker. I won an award. Do that. I'm not saying you don't, but it's not only about this. Show the
exactly.
mistakes, show the steps, show the formula.
100%. And this ties me in, like, this will be everyone's bread and butter. Now, if anyone's wondering, how do I come up with these ideas? I have a gift for everyone. Just bear with me. Um, a huge part of the radio is the host. For example, when you listen to those AI music, right? It can be technically amazing. I've done it. Will you buy anything from an AI music show? Like, would you go to an AI music concert? No. You need to know there's a human there. Alexandra has a great question. How could we know which of our personal updates are interesting enough to share? I will answer that question. That's a great question. So, AI music is technically enjoyable to watch, but you're not going to actually buy something from the AI music typically. Very rarely. You might pay a curator, but let's be real. So, this is where, even though you're not going to post every day about this, super important. And this is what Ali was alluding to, and what Alexandra's question is. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. How could we know which of our personal updates are interesting enough to share? Great question. So
That-
this is how I do it.
Really good question. I also will answer my version of it.
Yeah. I will go first because I happen to have like 6 images, and please don't, yeah, please like interrupt. Okay. So for me, If I'm trying to build a business, I'm trying to build favor, I'm trying to get trust from certain individuals. Who are my individuals? Marketing managers and founders. Super simple. What would they care about? Well, guess what? I asked them. So I asked John Wright in a text, like, hey, bro, I ghostwrite for 10 people. They would love you to appreciate their content. What do you enjoy reading? He said, data driven posts, thought leadership, like nice insights. And the third one, founder optimistic shit. He used those words like optimistic, founder, growing in public journeys. People eat that up. Why? It's interesting. It's like watching a movie in real time with someone who's realistic, and you're going to keep track. So when Alexandra, when you're thinking which part of my personal updates are interesting enough to share, anything milestoney, any lessons you've learned along your journey, anytime you want to celebrate someone, anytime you collaborate with someone, and I like to describe it as the Instagram effect. So look at how tactically I've done this. I just hit 15,000 followers on LinkedIn. 8,930 of them are due to my free daily habit. I just hit a traditional milestone. Here's my lesson. I still made it a lesson. Now I'm Mr. I'll make anything to a B2B lesson. I don't care. But even if you hit any sort of milestone, you can still do a reflection, right? You can reflect on what you learned since your last update. Why is this cool? Guess what, guys? Everyone is shy. On LinkedIn times 10. If I do a breakdown of business development, how many of these 100 likes on this post when I took that screenshot are actually from my buyers? I will tell you, not actually that many. There might have been one or two. 98 of them are people like me, building in public, business developers, but most people like to enjoy this content in the background. But that's not good, is it? Because LinkedIn, if they like a content, it's a signal. If they comment, big signal. If they dwell on the post, also good signal. But how can we get likes from our target hiring managers, target, for example, clients? You use the Instagram effect. What's the Instagram effect? If your cousin that you haven't spoken to in 10 years, Ali, got engaged and then posted a picture on Instagram and it came up on your feed, would you actually ignore it? You would feel like an absolute asshole if you don't like it. You're going to like it. So, how do we get that moment every single week, every 2 weeks? You announce stuff. You announce your transformation. You collaborate. You go do stuff, even if it costs you money, because it shows you rubbing shoulders with big logos. Okay? You show a day in the life where people can see you. Oh my God, this person exists outside of an actual laptop. His logo's on a cookie. He's working with people I've met before. Why is that important? Because now you're a real person. And I will explain it like someone told me. You are basically real. Like people can actually see you in real life. It makes a huge difference. So when it comes to personal content, Alexandra, show that you're building in public, show your lows, but I would never personally end on a low. It's not a diary. Yeah. We're posting on LinkedIn to build trust and authority. You can say you're having a tough week, but then share how you're getting through it. You see the difference? Like it's very, very important. You don't always end on a low because people, that might be their last impression of you. And that's not fair because they don't have your full context. You wouldn't put a thumbnail of you getting ready. You would put a thumbnail of you actually ready because they might not watch the full video. Bit of a different analogy there. How about you, Ali? How do you think about like personal content? Because I think of it quite strategic. What do you think?
It's really, really good question because it's not only how we can evaluate the milestones. It's, I mean, me and you, Harry, we used to write. You remember, we put like crappy music in the background, like really rubbish music, and write content. It took us half a day, sometimes me and Harry, to write one post. It took us insane amount of hours. We're trying like, I need a post for next week. I need a post for today, and now we have the same problem but completely inverted. Now we have too much content to fit our calendar, and I have too much content to fit my calendar, my company's page calendar. I have way more I can handle, so now I can be more selective, I can be more iterating of things. It's just literally how you look at making content. So this also apply how you make content and how you announce your milestones. And if anyone in the audience debate that they don't have anything to write about, and maybe there's something we're gonna touch upon later on.
Yeah.
I'm happy to bring you on stage and you leave with at least 15 ideas to write on. Like just a
100%.
quick interview, me or Harry. We just ask you 5 questions.
I have someone who's
Yeah.
joining us for 15 minutes.
Okay.
They're in the chat now, and we'll put her on the spot. We can do it with her.
Amazing. I mean, guys, that's why you should stay here, because even though you have one question being answered, you don't know what you don't know. And just listening to this conversation, you will go home with 25 ideas, but not only the amount of ideas, is how you can keep make them happen. For me and Harry, it's enough to have a small encounter to make it a post. It's not on a silly basis. Just literally, we really do a lot of great stuff. Any what is creativity? And now I need to speak about our industry. Creativity is something wasn't there, but you did a human interaction or you made it happen. So when you speak to someone on in DMs or a comments or interaction, that's a form of creativity. So it's not just, oh, I sent a message. You brought something to existence, and maybe could be a big lesson. Harry reached out to me, do you want to go to Barcelona? I just said yes without knowing any details. That ended up being a huge trip to our career. That's a story to be told. So that's how we need to look at things. And happy to
Absolutely.
do some example with someone.
Yeah, we'll do that later. The first part of the call, guys, because I feel like everyone here wants content. I will do a sense check on who wants to know about Outbound and who wants to know about building their offer, but we'll read the room. So after I follow the third type of post, we're going to go over my process, how to never run out of stories, and I'm going to give a gift for everyone here, which I usually only reserve to my consulting clients. So now that we've built trust, people like these posts, they stick around for the authority. The authority content shows them that you're good at what you do, whether you're an artist, whether you are a consultant, whether you're the founder of an AI tool. With these type of posts, we can build up trust and authority. Those are the two things I'm thinking about with every post. Then we can do an advert. And for us, these three styles of posts book us money, even though the engagement will be lower. So if anyone saw my post today, super bottom of funnel. I don't do it very often. I just tell people if you want to work with me, it's not going to go viral. But the reason we've got earned the right to do that is we've built trust and we've built authority. So I'll just quickly go over what these posts are and just give you the formula. Client case study. No one wants to hear you of why you're good. They want to see it. How do they see it? You show them vicariously through the result you got your client, even if it's anonymous. At the start, I only had ghostwriting clients. Now I have consulting clients, so I talk about them. But at the start, I just had a WhatsApp screenshot where I blurred the names and I explained after writing 19 posts, we got these results, which is 2 calls, 2 clients, and 7 leads. And then I broke it down and I said, by the way, if you want to learn more about it, text me. Very different framing from saying, hey guys, I write LinkedIn posts, text me if you want help. No, broke down how it worked, then if you want help. Very different. Secondly, lead magnet. I don't do much of these, but they work for some people. You basically give a free resource and they have to either DM you, comment, or get an email. Third one, oversubscribed announcement. If anyone has been a man and ever been single for a while, and then you finally get a girlfriend, and then every woman can smell it, you know what I'm talking about. Same thing in the games industry, same thing when you're hiring. If someone knows you're busy, people come to you. Ali, how many talks did you get once it looked like you were on stage all the time? Like, what happened?
Every time I post an image on a stage, every single time I get an invite to a new event. Not expecting. Every time, the same day. I'm gonna share something very, very interesting with you. If you guys post, if you do like post even randomly, ask yourself, when do you get a DM on LinkedIn? It's literally after you post.
They just see your face and they're like, oh
It's just
shit.
your face, then they remember, oh, they need to follow up with you, or they're gonna ask you a question. It's similar. It's like that's why the big brands keep investing in advertisement, even they're so massive. Even bigger brands could be forgotten if they don't keep the logo in front of your face. So that's why every time you get a DM is after you post. And when you post something relevant to their needs, so I put, hey, I'm so happy that I spoke at this event, but I also to show you that we implement what we are teaching you. If you go to my profile, You're gonna see me on a stage, but I'm always summarizing the panel, summarizing the talk. I'm not only showing you on the stage, I'm telling you what you have missed, and I'm giving you the learning. So I'm putting time to give the learning back. So you can be smart about being on a stage, share the learnings. Then get what? I get a DM from some big event, get invited from the minister of deputy or culture. It's just mind bending how it happens. It happened to a level I was like, okay, I know if I put this, I'm gonna get some like talks. And if I have a calendar busy, I don't, because I know it. I will get something I cannot deliver on. It's so funny how it works. It's so powerful.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And Emmanuel, I know you're not expecting this, but this is kind of an example. You posted about your game, someone saw it, and they saw an opportunity to message you and offer you services. Well, what if you posted something that a publisher wanted to see, and then they could offer you maybe advice or a chat? Like, what I'm trying to say is, you posted something, someone messaged you, it wasn't the right person, sure, but hey, when they message you, that you get a free follower, so we take those. But what I'm trying to say is, you got messaged because you exist, you're visible online.
And putting your content so it serves your what you're looking for. Like posting
Mm.
randomly and posting without a strategy will give you random results, a random follow-up, a random sales call. But if you post the right things tailored to the right people, who whatever you want to do, then you will see what you're looking for.
Alrighty, so time to tease everyone's gift. You might be wondering, how do I actually break this down and do this on a regular basis? The hardest part of my ghostwriting business, where it's a bi weekly content interview and then we turn that into LinkedIn content, which then the client approves, it's still their voice. We need to get ideas. And most people, like Mikhail offered to volunteer. If we have time, we will do it with you for sure. I'll send you a message. Um, we need stories. So the way I look at stories, you have macro stories. These are multi-month or year transformations, sheer amount of actions, which will be a wisdom. Those are kind of like two macro stories. But then the most common one, which I see Ali do a lot, specific event, single day, or you have a big macro story and you break it into chunks. For example, me and Ali went to Barcelona. That's a micro story. What's the macro story? Me and Ali went to Barcelona, did this for 2 years. Now I'm here, lesson learned. Two different posts. What about another thing? The day I was in the office at King, I literally wrote all these five different posts and they all slapped with a different insight, different angle. So another thing is, one story isn't one post, it's packaging. Why are we saying story too many times? It's because without a story, what is this post? Like, it's just, it could be anything. Anyone could write it. So my advice is, people will not connect with your advice, they will connect with your story, and your macro stories will prove that you've been there, but your micro stories will make it real. Does that make sense? Like, this makes it realistic, but the macro make it clear that, oh, I should listen to this person. So here's the gift. This is my whole process. I get all my clients to fill out this stories worth telling questionnaire where you map out your entire life, you put it into this chat GBT, and you map out your macro and micro story. That you put into this GBT, which then gives you ideas based on who you want to build trust and authority with. And then you have a framework of the type of content you can do, and then you can start writing. If you've joined this webinar, just put a message in the chat and I'll message you with a link to this Miro board. So if you can just put the word content, just all caps, like this, just so I know who gets it and I can make sure you get it. So if you just put content, if you want that Miro board, I will send it over once we wrap up.
I want,
Because
I want that. That this is why I do this with you, Harry. I mean, I know we have like a really, really strong relationship, but kudos to. I mean, this is why I love doing this with you, because this is so generous. This is something people can take, start putting stuff.
execute tomorrow.
Tomorrow you can execute, and seriously, just giving back to you guys, and you will see you will see a huge change, especially if you're starting from zero. You will see a massive change. And Harry, you said something interesting about the story. People try to communicate way too many things in the post. Guys, it's a post. It's not an article, it's not a book, it's not a novel. It's a social media post. and make sure you're delivering one idea to one reader with one lesson. Don't try to communicate way too many things. That's why we're so good at getting angles. Like one day together, we can write 5 6 posts. So that's very important to start seeing things from different angles.
Love it. Alrighty. So I did mention we'll give some goodies away. So we haven't stopped there. So on. Oh no, I've lost my little mirror board. I found it. Okay. Also on this board, you can make friends. There is something. There's loads of people in this chat. So if you have a friend, I've even put a prompt where it will help you interview each other. So it will suggest basically content ideas where you can then interview the other person. So like you either do this solo or you get someone to interview you for his. Like there's no excuse. All right, that's that. Everyone in this chat who put content, I'm going to send it to you. If you're not posting, I will cry because you have everything. Because you get that transcript, guess what? You loop it back into the ideation machine. Now, big caveat: don't post what comes out of this ideation machine. It's not perfect. It's AI, but it will get you started. Just a very big caveat. If I see a bunch of posts and someone messages me, Harry, these ideas were crap. Okay, you get 5 ideas. You may pick the one that's good. Just a very big disclaimer on AI. It's a tool to get faster. Don't. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say this is going to solve all your problems, but it's definitely going to get you started. Alrighty. Hell yeah. Okay. So does anyone have questions on content or want a roast on their profile? So, what do I mean by roast on your profile? Some people will be quite shy on what they should be posting about because they might not know what to post about or what to position themselves at. So, if anyone wants to volunteer, this is a fan favorite. You can just write a message in the chat. I want a profile roast. Shouldn't be showing my DM, sorry.
I keep doing the same, and once I told 100 people close your eyes, I was like some
Whoops.
numbers and deals and stuff.
Yeah, sorry. All
Don't,
right.
don't tell-
Okay. So, can someone volunteer in the chat? Just say, "Hey, roast my profile." Basically, just paste the. Just say, "Hey, roast my profile." Open your profile, and I'm going to help you understand how to position yourself. Because if you're not well positioned, it doesn't really matter how good your content is. Because no one might message you; they might not know what to say. So, if anyone wants to volunteer, we're going to roast your profile before we move on to the next 2 topics.
And Harry, the spice level, like you can
Yes.
choose between really like semi or like
Tell
mild.
me if you want us to roast your LinkedIn profile and spicy level request. Very spicy equal brutal. We're going to do a couple of these and then we're going to wrap up the content. So I'm going to start with Miguel. Michael. How do you pronounce that? Am I dumb? Michael? So sorry. Um, I'm usually good with pronunciation, but yeah, I'm just going to embarrass myself. Okay. Let's do this. So let's roast my profile. I've got it. I've got you. Alrighty. You're literally on fire. Okay, you're quite technical, so I might actually give this to Ali, and I can just add on top if that's okay, Ali.
Absolutely. So we're having a bunch of blueprint connected in your cover photo, which technically imagine having lines of code if you're a coder, or a Photoshop if you're artist, means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because I maybe this is from a project you worked on, but it's nothing novel in this. You're wasting the biggest space in your profile,
Let
which
me
is
explain why people should care about their banner, because maybe people don't realize, like, oh, it's not just for fun. As in, maybe you explain
yeah.
it.
So I was like, oh, okay. So the cover photo is the biggest space you see on phone. We have more than 50% of the LinkedIn users using phone, and it's the biggest space, of course, on desktop. It's the first things you look at. You look maybe a couple of milliseconds to the profile photo, and you balance it with the cover. So cover, it's waste of space. Don't put empty. Empty is lazy. You're showing that you're not careless, or I don't know. Don't put something irrelevant, like a lake or a nice waterfall or something, it means nothing. You're not a photographer. Use this to show your work, actual title you have shipped, art, collage of pieces you have delivered, something says what you do. Could be like if you look at Harry, he literally state his service or catch his audience with or target audience with social proof. There's a multiple ways. This is not one of them. 100%. The profile photo is nice. It's a bit. I'm not sure about the quality. Is it from your side, or it's good to have your photo on higher quality, especially a bit bigger, so people
I
when
think, is
Mhm.
it AI?
AI enhanced because
It's
it's
got it's got the
yeah,
fire.
yeah, could be, but it's not
Um,
overused. It's fine. It's in the gaming industry. We have a bit more
sure.
tolerance, but yeah. So profile photo, simple, headshot, professional. Have the background as clear as possible because people won't see it this size. They will see it on the home feed, way smaller in the comments. So cover photo needs to be changed to something different. 100%. The profile photo is okay, and Unreal authorized instructor, IGDA leader. So I can definitely see game developer, game designer, Unreal mentor. So it's a bit overlap between game developer, game designer. Uh, I can definitely see Unreal expert in here, and part of IGDA. We say hi to them, great people.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, but game developer, game designer, which one are we trying to do? Is a bit an overlap, and that's something common. We put too many craft in the headline. It could be a bit confuse.
We need to think about, your job here is to
Yeah.
get a job.
Mm.
So to get a job, a hiring manager needs to know you can do said job. So what proof do you have that you can do said job? You have done Unreal Engine, you have done game jams, you have been in games industry since February 2024. You've
Social
been
media.
teaching, but what have you shipped, right? I need to know what you've shipped, or that you're the most passionate person in the world and you build in public and you do something. Like I would have the game jam stuff here front and center personally. Um,
This profile gives me more an educational vibe. Like,
like you're a teacher,
yeah, you're a teacher. Yeah,
hmm
I,
which
I would
is
I would
kind
I
of
would
what you're doing.
I would maybe hire you to teach or lecture student, but maybe not to work as a game dev because I don't see enough that convince me. And about section is very slim. If you scroll up a bit, I feel like it's very slim, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
so this is being used by keywords by LinkedIn, guys.
yeah.
So tell your story, explain what you can do, and help people. Yeah, use it to the full extent. It's okay if it's like, you might be like, "Hey Ali, hey Ari, I don't have enough to say." Well, you always have something to say. You have all these 2 years, like you've done something, right? You've built something in a game jam. Why
Or
do
you
people like you?
or
Like
let
put
teams.
that
Maybe
there.
you let teams, right? If you let teams, that's very big. It's if
Yeah.
you yeah, let teams. So
Alrighty.
yeah, this now you guys saw what kind of comment, what kind the thought process. Now the person won't be next to you asking you question. They will go and judge, and this will be happening in few seconds.
Absolutely.
Hiring managers, they are super busy. They got hundreds of options, so they won't be spending time trying to dig what you do. You should show it to them in front of their face exactly what you do. If you go to
Exactly.
my profile, you will know what I do in like maybe a few seconds. Like you will know
Mhm.
exactly what I do.
Exactly that. Sweet. Alrighty. So for everyone here, I have a special guest coming in 7 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is ask everyone in the chat if you can let me know, content wise. So we have this gentleman come in. Frank used to work at a company called acquisition.com. Acquisition.com with good old Alex Hamosi, if you know. So he was the director of recruiting there and director of workshops. And also right now, he is founder of Tank Advisory. And he's advised over 1,700 businesses. So he's going to come and help people with their offers and whatnot. Regarding tips on the post, we can do that at the end, Michael, Mikhail. So I want to share, if everyone in the chat can just let me know if that was valuable. And basically, we're going to say, I'm going to share how you can help kind of go faster, basically. So we have something we're announcing on. Well, we've already announced it today. We've announced it this week, this Monday, and it's starting on Monday. So for everyone in the chat, just let me know. I'm basically going to spend 5 minutes sharing a little bonus offer for everyone who's here who wants to go faster. And then we're going to go straight in and talk about offers. Alrighty. So if I open the right thing, here we go. So basically, over the last 2 years, I've coached over 80 people now to unstuck their life, kind of using content, outbound, and offers, which we're going to get to later, both in and outside of gaming. You can find this all on my website. If you go to hivemind.marketing, you can see all the advice there. And I want to just show that this is not something for fun. This is something that can literally change lives. It's changed my life, it's changed Ali's life, but even Yoni, for example. So Yoni's a consulting client. He runs a 20 plus person studio and had no time for content. We, through consulting, right? So a call every 2 weeks, we went from no consistency, no content strategy to 11 times more impressions. His second post went viral. If you see here, he got 1,149 likes, 180,000 impressions, and then he got 100 job applications. Also, what did that do for his business? He's now seen and recognized by almost every conference he goes to, and he's had to reject work as a co-development agency in the games industry, and he's currently looking for projects for 2028. If anyone's in the game industry, you know how important, how crazy that stat is when people are struggling. And was it all because of LinkedIn? No. Did it help? Absolutely. Because people will know who you are and it will accelerate that conversation massively. We also have Selim. Selim, we actually started our business. We share a business birthday. And he's now one of the most recognizable leaders in recruitment in the games industry. And with a lean team, he is doing record revenue year. We're talking potentially, I won't reveal his numbers, but he's doing very well for himself. And he's a 3-person team. And again, not crazy likes, but for recruitment, as you can see, building in public, all of his clients read his posts, they remember him, and he's able to book meetings in an industry which is struggling, recruitment. So why am I sharing this to you? Many people watching this are eager for a solution, but they are struggling because there's no one in their corner. So we've built something for someone who wants to go faster. I do mixers every month. It's my favorite thing to do. It's why I name my business HiveMind. I think there's a beauty in everyone helping each other. And also you see here, I try my best to work from coffee shops. I will eventually buy an office one day, but I love working with other people. So I will spend 5 minutes sharing why you might want to join us on Monday. So we started something called hivemind.academy. Basically, if you want accelerated help, here's what you're going to get. And we're going to go back to the regular programming. Thank you, Sel. I didn't share numbers. I got you. That's funny. So on Monday, I will literally, with everyone on the call, we already have 15 founding members, build your offer. So we're going to build your offer, numbers, and constraints, and we'll get a 90-day plan. We have Ali. I have my way of writing. Ali's a freaking fast writer. So Ali's going to do it for everyone who's technical and all that jazz. We also have Ada. So Ada, who unfortunately couldn't make it today, but she was on the last summit. She used to work at King. She's part of the reason we kind of got this LinkedIn thing going. She gave us a very nice push back in Barcelona. She is the GOAT when it comes to culture and happiness. That sounds weird, but I mean it. I struggled with hiring for a full year. She had 30 one-on-ones at King, and she had to not only basically leaving King for her was super hard because everyone loved her. It was so good. Then we also have Frank, who's joining us soon. They are a guest coach who will be teaching everyone how to do your first hire. And we also have Noshin. She's the #1 public speaking coach. After Barcelona, I gifted Ali a membership in her speaking academy. Me and both him did it. I got so much more confident. I was on stage within a month or two, and I think Ali was already doing well. But yeah, it was a great time. I don't know if you have anything to say about Noshin, but
I mean,
this is
it really took my speaking confidence and the quality and delivery to a next level. And both of us, we went to the lifetime membership in her ongoing cohort.
Yeah.
So Noshin, if there's someone can take your talking skills from zero to absolutely really good level in half an hour to 1 hour, I cannot think of anyone else but Nushin.
Yeah.
I'm a really high respect.
And she's a bonus coach, guys. On Friday, I'll be from everyone's numbers on Monday, giving everyone a hot seat clinic. We're gonna get rid of all the constraints. The last thing I want to do is teach you how to write a hook, and then you never do anything. I'd rather give you a system and an offer, and then make sure we're doing actions because that's what gets results. Yes, exactly. She was literally a happiness manager. How do I do this fast, fun, and consistently? Like you saw there, the system, I'm going to show you the system not only to get ideas, but how to write them and post them regularly. What makes good content? Ali's going to do a content audience building deep dive. His community is one of the most engaged communities in the world. My community actually is slacking compared to Ali's. Like, he has a loyal fan base. He'll be sharing all the secrets. Ada will be going deeper on one-on-ones. Then we have Frank, who's going to be joining us any minute now. I believe I have sent him the link, so he'll be joining us soon. And then if anyone has conferences in the industry, you probably do. I'll be breaking down. I've spent like probably 30 grand attending conferences with my team, and they always bring us a stupid amount of results. So we kind of got a formula for that now. And finally, how do I scale this? So Outbound, which we're going to cover later today. If anyone here wants to talk about Outbound, you're just going to have to DM me or post it in the chat. I'll go into more detail. And then Ali's going to reveal everything about capital and strategic partners, how serious people can judge founders and become investable, how to lead, accountability, and then we graduate all in 3 weeks. Now, we are starting on Monday. So we've already had 15 people join. We're going to invite a couple of them on stage in a bit. So we've had Hannah already join, who is Amazeballs, and we had quite a few people in the chat I see who I've had chats with this week. So if you would like to join, every call is recorded. I've had a lot of objections this week saying about timing. Don't worry. We have like a Netflix style platform where they're all going to be recorded. All of these topics are covered. You can join the ones you need. Plus, we have a Slack community, and the community will continue. And on top of that, if you've seen any of my events, you get free access to all Hivemind mixes this year. So we literally can meet ROL in Cyprus or in Malmo, and you can literally get your first clients in real life using the lessons we learned. There's no other community who does something like that, but it's like just such a no-brainer. And on top of that, once everyone signs in, I'm going to do a survey. We're going to have community power hours every week where you can actually implement camera on, bad music in the background, and write content. Basically, I'm making sure everyone does the stuff. So if you do want to change your life, you're going to have as much accountability as what I wish I had effectively. So yeah, if you join on the live, free gift, you will get 6 months of community. That's only for today. Basically as a thank you for spending your Thursday night with us. If you want in, basically, what I will do is stop sharing. And if you just want the live offer, I'm going to offer a good old, where is it? Give me a second. There we go. I'm going to offer 10 free growth plan calls. So I usually charge 1,000 euros for this. I've done 40 of them so far. As you can see, I'm losing my voice. We're about to bring Frank on. If you want to book a call, I'm going to paste the calendar link in the chat, but it won't work because it's the weekend. Okay, so basically anyone who wants to chat, just pop in the chat if you want a growth plan call. Basically, we can do this live. We can build out your 90 days. And if that's of interest, I've had a very, very nice last 2 weeks where we've changed some lives. So if you do want a growth plan call, anyone who posted content before, just post the message growth with all caps. So type the word growth if you want a free one-to-one with me, and I will reach out to you privately and we'll arrange a call either tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. So that's a free gift for everyone who's here. And now we're going to go into Q&A. So there's only 10 of those. So if you do want to grab those, just type the word growth if you want a free one-on-one. Amazing. Okay. So who's this? Hi, Frank.
Hello.
Hey, man. How are we doing?
Fantastic. I'm
Hell
excited
yeah.
to be here.
Hey, how did you find last time?
Oh, Awesome. Great community and group that you guys have going. So grateful for the opportunity to speak to founders directly. It's probably my favorite. I just like coaching. So like I want to be the best player, but I know I'm a better coach.
Love it. Sweet.
Yeah.
So for everyone who posted growth in the chat, because I forgot to adjust my Calendly to do it on the weekend, I will reach out to you privately. So as long as you put the word growth, I will take care of you. Hannah, thank you for the nice comments. Great. So Frank, you're one of our bonus coaches. The reason is you're the GOAT, bro. So like you have helped me so much. I just want to give a quick intro to you from my perspective, but I'd love for you to insert for people who don't know you. So I've known Frank, Ali, you don't know this, for 4 years. So Frank was my first attempt at networking. I was like, I'm a recruiter. I want to network with a recruiter. Let me go to the recruiter in the US and say, hey, I'm a recruiter. Should we connect? And for some reason, Frank said yes. We hopped on a Zoom call, my first ever Zoom call. I'd never used Zoom before. He was very kind. We had a couple chats. I said, hey, I'm coming to New York on holiday. Can we meet for steak? He's like, sure. Met for steak, had a nice chat. And yeah, stayed in touch like one message a year. And now we met each other in a community. And yeah, Frank has done a ridiculous amount of work. So I'll let you fill in the gaps, but that's how we met. But you've helped me massively with hiring recently. And yeah, it's been huge. So yeah, maybe a quick, what are your creds, Frank? What do you do?
Yeah, I appreciate it. First off, I didn't realize it was like I was your first ever on all those things.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like sometimes guys, the lesson there is you might not be able to get in touch with the guy, but you can get in touch with the guy behind the guy. And the example there is like my boss or the president of the United States might not answer your message, but he has a circle of people around him that probably are not used to getting messages like me. So it's like, I was like, sure, steak. Like no one's asking me to go to steak. And I'm generally friendly, Frank, so I'm always open to it. Not everyone is that open. And Harry has a great follow-up game. So like him doing the relationship nurturing, like he was just being himself, but it was easy to work with. At a high level, I'd say I spent 7 years recruiting. I worked at the largest privately held recruiting firm in the world, Aerotech. So that's where I kind of cut my teeth. But I'm a biology major. I just want to be a business guy. So like I just want to learn how to scale companies, and I want to be a sales guy, but end up getting into recruiting, which is kind of like sales. And basically, I've been helping building teams since then. So my focus is that. After I worked there for 3 years, I then worked at a private equity firm called acquisition.com. Gangsters in their own right. I was employee number 12, and then I was the recruiter, then the director of recruiting, and then the director of workshops. So I learned from people way better than me, and I came out smarter. I'd say my coach would say I'm less stupid. And really where I focus, I've worked with like 3,000 business owners over the past 2 years, specifically teaching them how to scale their business by scaling their team. So it's like the tactics, the strategies, everything from soup to nuts to like, how do you know what problem you're trying to solve if this is a hire, and then how do you go find that person? That's what we do today. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice meeting you, man. Thank you so much for giving Harry the steak.
My pleasure. It was an honor.
Nice. Sweet. So I think 5 people took a growth plan call. So if you do want it, amazing. Time for Q&A, guys. So we covered content. For everything else, outbound and offers and scaling, I want to make it as relevant as possible. So we're now doing Q&A. So if you do want your growth plan call, just post the word growth in the chat. Now we're doing Q&A. Let me put the little ticker on. Yeah. So basically ask your questions. You got 3 people here. Anything offers, scaling, and content we're going to take care of. I will kick us off by asking Ali to ask a question to Frank, because I know that Ali will have a hiring, not challenge, but you have a lot of things coming forward, NDA of course, but Frank is the guy compared to this stuff. So do you have any questions for Frank, Ali? I think that'll be fun.
That's wasn't
Put you on the spot.
that wasn't scripted at all. So yes, I need to hire. It's the catch-22. Let's say this. So I have a case where we need to hire to produce, but we don't have the enough capital to hire.
Okay.
Which is so common. It's insanely common how to do this. So I'm playing a wild card. I cannot talk now publicly about it. Maybe I should invite you to meatballs in Sweden and we can talk more about it. But it happens. So you need to hire to deliver, but you need capital to hire. So how you come around this, how to break down, or maybe you have a follow-up question.
I do have follow-up questions. I think the first is like, do you need them? Is this like a chief growth officer, like a CRO, or is it more of like market? Is it marketing focused, sales focused, or both? And like, and the second question, is it B2B or B2C? I'm imagining B2B.
It is B2B, and it's gonna be more production.
Okay, production meaning like content, like almost like enterprise sales,
content, producing content. Yeah.
Oh, content.
Yes.
So nothing. Oh, interesting. So when you say growth, it's like they're growing content. They're not growing. It's not like they're getting you leads directly.
No.
Okay.
Yes,
I was going on a different path with sales.
Yeah, it is a tricky one. That's why he chose it, I guess.
Well, like, I mean, if you have to think about incentives. So when bringing people on the team, there's only really, when I'm thinking at a high level, the only two reasons someone would work for free is that number one, they get a piece of what they get, which is like if you help me grow this thing, I get a piece of it, which would be like, I get a piece of every lead that comes in through my work. I get 50% of the deal or whatever for the first, and you just can just taper it. It's like, so that gives them, because it's risk. It's like, so like that's one lever. It's like risk for them. If you're not going to take any risk and not pay them, well, then you can take no risk and then they take all the risk. And then that's one way. And then one way to sweeten the pie, which would only be based on the thing you're doing, is really on your end. It's like, is this a career maker for them? Meaning if you find the right person in the right lane, like this could be something where, dude, if we not pull this off, your career takes, like then every job after this is opened up for you. And that's a selling point. So it's called WIFM, what's in it for them. So you have to think about what problem you're trying to solve, who's qualified to do it, and then go back to like, well, why would they take this job? And it's like, well, one of them is like, this is a career maker, hopefully, like it's a big enough thing that makes their career, and you can just position it as that, which is why they're willing to take risk. Number two is like they get some piece of the pie. And number three, that's total alternative, is that you say, hey, bro, like you're gonna have to take a risk on me. I'm gonna take a risk on you. Let's just do a month or two each, as we just recommit every month or two. Those are just my 2 cents.
You can do that with an employee.
What's that?
You can do that with like an employee full-time mindset, 1 month, 2 months. That's fine.
This would be like this is like trying to make up stuff from like the little bit context I have. No, this would be like a 1099 or and I'm not HR law, so raise my hand. I'm not. No, if you were to like full on hire somebody, like I don't know, like you would have to give them a piece of the pie, like because like I don't know anyone that's signing. No one would take that on without money, like potential money. And I thought it was gonna be sales focused, but it's content focused. And the worry I have is like how long that game takes. Meaning like, then there's a lot of questions I have. I think at the highest level, that's my 2 cents. But then it's like back to like, what's the offer? How good are you at actually closing the deals? Like, what's the lead cycle and like closing cycle? Because if it takes so long, it's like, dude, it's not even worth it because you don't get paid. They don't get paid for another 6 months. It's like, and then you might as well just do a part-timer. Or just use event, like, there's all these games.
No, I really like how he quickly analyzed, because I have the background, so I'm now like literally take your examples. And the second one, which is attaching it to a career growth, where it's
that's
like
a good one.
That's a really good one. And funny enough, I got it by luck. I got someone saying if we can do this with a certain vendor, they're happy to jump in. So, but I didn't see it this way, that some people will willing to take this because I'm going to do that specific something that you only can do it through your vehicle, because individuals sometimes they cannot strike deals with bigger players. But you can do that through the vehicle, which is a very good incentive. I never thought about it this way. I guess I will pay the meatballs at IKEA when you come to Stockholm.
I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you need to get to Europe, Frank, at one point when it makes sense. We'll do something. I have a question specifically for you. I spoke with this lady yesterday. She is super experienced. I will give some context on you, Tanya, so he can answer your question better. So I spoke with Tanya yesterday. Super experienced, has done head of HR work, consulting work, but has not productized it so much. And she had, in my opinion, sorry to speak for you, a bit of a limited belief on how many people she could consult. She thought there was a very, what's the word? She's like, oh, how can I do it? Because it takes so much time. And yeah, very specific question for you. Like, how did you manage to consult? I thought it was 1,700 founders, but 3,000 founders in such a short period of time. Maybe open her eyes a little here. What's possible?
Yeah. By the way, I got the 1,700 because I was like, let me like underestimate the heck out of it. But like, it's probably more. It's probably honestly like 5,000. But that depends on like the engagement. So it's the scope, because like sometimes I'm just answering questions to a group of 1,000 people live, like on a chat. So To explain your Tanya, this is not my business. I've been doing my business for 7 months. There's a fraction of those that come from my business. I worked at a company that was a private equity firm. That company, the reason they were able to get that many people is number one, brand. So we hosted, I was the director of workshop. So how I got that many people is we had 100 people every workshop coming in. And that was Monday and Tuesday. Every Monday and Tuesday, basically 3 to 4 times a month, I would talk to 100 people for 2 years straight. And then there was additional workshops were even more intimate settings. So I got that volume because I worked at a really good company and I just sat in the chair and did my job. And then also there was an offer we all did where it's like we took it online. So basically there's 1,000 people answering questions in a community platform. So like I was answering probably 3 to 4 hours of questions a day. I didn't really count that, but I just said there's 1,000 people. So like I probably talked to like 200. But I physically and in person talked to 100 people every workshop, and I did 120 business workshops. And that was just like in the 2 years. So that's how I got to that number. I'd say for me personally, I think about, there's always like price and terms. So there's like, when I'm trying to negotiate anything, you have to change one. If you change one lever, you have to change both. So you can't just change the price if you don't change the terms. And what that means is there's some clients that you maybe can serve at a smaller capacity, still consult them, but not charge them so much. So you can really start to stack. And then also that's just one idea of like, you can stack a lot of people because you give them what they need, not everything, which ties into the next point. The amount of times I learned from my clients saying, Frank, that one tank check-in you emailed me was the most valuable thing you did. The 2 hours on the call, I love you, but like, I didn't need all that. I just needed the one thing. And I find it's really often, I like to make lists to try to build my business better, where it's like, what do my clients find valuable? That's what one list. And the other list is like, what takes me the least amount of time?
Interesting. That's a good exercise.
Say, what is the most valuable thing that they like that takes the least amount of time? Well, then that becomes these new offers and new things. But I'll just say, I don't know what size your business is, getting 3,000. If I was doing it by myself, no freaking way I could do 3,000 in 2 years. I would say it's basically impossible. Only way to do it is group settings. But I happen to do it, like I said, in group settings at a workshop.
Yeah. Nice. Maybe this is useful for me and for Tanya and a lot of people in the chat. I think it's a great business to start when you have like a lot of proof and you're used to being in corporate. So what would you suggest for someone to do when they're first starting? Like, because she's building her offer right now and she's also deciding whether to join the academy. So the offer is a big thing in her mind. It's like, what could work? And to be honest, on all my growth plan calls, I need to like remind them, like, guys, people have paid you so much money for X amount of work. And I'm like, how much of the stuff you did was filler? And they're like 80%. Yeah. Well, guess what? So like maybe help them, like, because you've just recently done the transition as well, like from getting your first coaching offer, like how would you approach that?
Yeah. So, I mean, depends on where you are in your business. Number one is like, I like to say, if you got paid for something as an employee, that's probably the best thing to charge, which sounds like that's the business she started. Like, so just do that. Number two would be, if you're struggling to get clients, just start the first set of consulting for free, which you just say to them, hey, I have 10 spots. I'm not going to charge you because I'm actually trying to learn what you value. The only ask is at the end of this, 2 weeks together, whatever shortened period, you either give me a testimonial, you give me feedback, a testimonial, and then maybe become a paying client. And then the last would be like, let's say you don't want to do that step and do free. You would just try to figure out tiers. So I just recently did this for my business, which is, who is my client potentially, and what problems do they have? And then I just said, my 3 offers are really straightforward now. It's like, you want me to train, build, and run recruiting. You want me to train and build recruiting. You want me to train on recruiting. So it's advising,
recruiting, so that helps her.
Yeah. So it's just like the straight up, like, I just made it tiers. So someone else taught me this, which is smart. He's a CFO consultant. He said advising, there's 3 tiers: advising, consulting, and fractional. Advising means I just talk to you. The second it becomes consulting is when I do a keystroke. If I have to type something after the meeting, now it becomes I'm consulting because I'm doing work.
I should do that. That's very useful.
And then fractional becomes like, I'm like literally a fractional person. Like I am running the thing. So I'd say just break up the same problem into 3 different tiers based on level of involvement for you, which then ties into price. And then just see what people say. Unfortunately, the game is you have to try it, test it, and see if it works. And it takes iterations. Like, don't be upset if it takes more than 6 months. I'm 7 months in, I just changed my offer again. And now I feel good with it. We'll see what happens. By change, I mean refine. It's the
Yeah.
game.
It's the game. Love it. Alrighty. We have a bunch of questions in the chat, so we're going to do them rapid fire.
Okay.
I think I have guests coming in 10 minutes, so we're going to do that live hot seat thing as well. And I think you also have to jump. All right.
I do. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So I will focus on the Frank questions, but we'll get to the others. Okay. So, Frank, specific question. Hey, Frank, what is the most common problem of a founder that is building a niche when working with so many different founders with so many different niches? Each one is different, but you got to make it work for you now. So let me give you some context because I spoke to her recently.
Okay.
So she was building a community, I believe, of founders in different spaces, and they do different niches. What's the question? What is the most common problem of a founder that is building a niche when working with? Do you have a follow-up clarifying question for her, or does that make sense?
It kind of makes sense. I'll say, and then I think the most common problem founders like yourself have is they think you have to customize everything. Like the amount of times I talk to a founder, they get a bunch of clients and they're customizing all their offers. I would try to say, like, if you have a bunch of different niches, bunch of different problems they have niches with, I would go back to the thing of, well, what problem is common amongst all of them that I can solve really well, and just solve that. Like that's the simplest answer. But I'd say the problem most people have is they try customizing everything, from the guy that I worked with that makes bags all the way to like consultants. They like just do custom offers all the time. And then it feels difficult because number one, sales feels difficult. Number two, fulfillment feels all over the place, and you don't get this repeating flywheel. So it's like, to the best of your ability, try to find the common problem amongst these different people. And also you might be able to realize after working with 3,000 business owners, there's only 3 problems I found that every business has. And that's what I just like chose. Like it chunks down, but it's like either you have a bad business model, you need more demand, or you need more supply. Like if the model is broken, that means you don't have a good offer. And I can go down all of those, but like I would say just simplify it for yourself by saying, just take all the information you have, jump it in ChatGPT and say common factor analysis, or like retroactive analysis. Like tell me the common things these people say they have problems with and the solutions I've solved, and then try to find one thing that you can help them with. That's what I
love it. And she has replied, that helps a lot. Amazing. Awesome. Let me focus on a few others. So we have a question here. I would like Ali and maybe Frank as well, because I don't have as much experience with this at all. So Emmanuel's producing a game, right? And I've seen him try to advertise said game on LinkedIn. I have my thoughts, but I'm going to hold them. So Ali, do you mind answering this question? So the question is, Emmanuel Costan, can LinkedIn help my game sell better once launched? This is my ultimate goal, but what should be my journey to get there? My assumption is that more visibility, the better. So how do I get more visibility? So please break that down.
If you're looking for players or people to buy your game, I wouldn't use LinkedIn. I've seen some build in public where people show prototypes. This go viral and you get a lot of support. LinkedIn will help you attract publishers and investors, senior people to work with you, people to help you take your game to different platforms, porting it, take it to different continents. No, it's not good for bringing more players, but still you might get media to talk about it. You might get someone from IGN or someone like from BBC or something to speak about your game. It's possible. So you need to understand the audience on LinkedIn are super authority, high profile, but it's not mass. It's not like quantity. It's higher. It's more quality. So I encourage you to keep posting, but you need to understand what you're gonna get from LinkedIn is different. So if you're really focusing on eyeballs, people to wishlist your game, highly recommend GitHub, Discord, X, Blue Sky, but definitely not LinkedIn. If that's exactly what you're looking for, it's just sales. If you're looking for someone help you doing this, you're in the right place, which is LinkedIn. That's my 2 cents on it.
I would add, Emmanuel, the approach is to create content, and that content you push it where it makes sense. So rather than treat LinkedIn as LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a place where X type of people live. So if you produce a short of your game, we don't have to guess how to market games. We can just look at people who've done it recently. So Megabonk posted like 30 shorts on TikTok during the build of his game. Some of them got 700,000, a million views on TikTok, and directly he kind of self-marketed his game. Am I saying you're going to be like Megabonk? I don't know. I don't know if your game is super enjoyable to look at, but there's already case studies of people creating founder development. He self-edited those shorts on all of those platforms and then saying wishlist my game. That was the link in bio. Now, if you did that on LinkedIn, would you get a wish list? Maybe. But would you get as many as these others? But what you could get is picked up by people. So imagine you messaged every streamer about with your game and giving them an early demo like Balatro did. One might reply, and you might get a Northern Lion type character. He plays your game in beta, and it's the most streamable game of all time. And then boom, you've now, instead of got a publisher, you've got streamers freaking publishing your game. These things have happened. So rather than guess, just look at what's worked and don't say, it worked because it's a roguelike deck builder. No. What did the solo founder do for marketing? Like people have done write-ups about this. So yeah, I would treat LinkedIn as the way to connect to individuals who could be partners. But if you want wish lists who will buy a $10 to $20 product, go where they exist, which is not necessarily TikTok, but like it's all these short form channels. And you got to make a short for said channel. Yeah, that's my take.
You said something important. LinkedIn is one of the few platforms you can literally write to anyone. Like anyone can write to anyone. That's how Harry invited Frank to a stake in the US. That's how I've written to CEOs of AAA companies. That's how I got vice versa. So it's the only platform anyone can write to anyone. So when you're on LinkedIn, try to be, if you have a target audience, try to be focused on even names and go talk to them. But there's strategy how to talk to them. But yeah, that's something we can maybe discuss later.
Love it. Not to shoot your LinkedIn dreams, Emmanuel. It's just to pivot them, yeah? So keep posting, just for a different reason.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Cool. I'm looking for a question for Frank.
While you do that, can I add one thought on that? Which is similar to what you guys are saying. I'm not going to answer the question about LinkedIn because actually everything they said is covering it. One thing that you could potentially do is try to do some research by using GPT or whatever, and try to find someone. You have obviously whatever your game is, it's in a niche. Whatever that RPG, whatever the game is, try to find the biggest players, whether it's the CEO of like Call of Duty or just like Elon Musk, someone that plays that game anyway on their own, and somewhere they maybe publicly talk about them playing that game and then message a super influencer that, because it's going to be targeted like everyone was saying. So I'd say if you could scrape the internet and find people that are really big players, centers of influence that can move the masses or just have a big audience that play this type of game. Usually they're nerds and love to like literally like you have a version of this game that's new. They would love to jump in and just like they would probably be happy to reach out to them if they love the game that much. So just food for thought.
Do you know that is exactly, so Polytopia is a mobile game. The CEO of that company has a direct relation with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk has changed that game. And Elon Musk has, every time he tweets about that game, it literally just boosts their sales. So what you've just described has actually happened with a mobile game and Elon Musk. Like,
that's hilarious.
That's what you've just said. I thought you were referencing that. That's how accurate it was. Like, that clearly just happened. And Elon Musk like gives game design feedback in his free time. Hours. He wrote it. He said it on a podcast or something, but like that's happened. So you could get the biggest brand in the world to advertise, and that's a Swedish little company in Stockholm. Yeah. Like I've been to their office.
That's sick. That's like a general business strategy. That's what I was able to say. It's like there's only 3 ways that I would use referrals. There's internal referrals, which is like someone I know and they're helping me. External referrals, where you just cold reach out to people. And then the best type of referrals, which are centers of influence, people that are, like Elon Musk's of the world, people that teach or influence your people. It's the same way when I try to hire. I'm like, how do I find the one guy that knows everybody? Well, like sometimes on people that are about to retire, CFOs that are about to retire have the best network of accountants. It's like these are games of like, how do I find the pocket? And I just unlocks the rest of the
yeah, you got it. Worst case scenario, just start a podcast and interview them. No one says no. Love it. Frank, thank you so much. It was sick. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, Frank, and see you. Hopefully, to see you in Europe.
Yes, I can also do virtual stakes. So let me know. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Frank.
Yes.
Bye bye. Great. See you later. Alrighty. Okay, Ali. Remember when we said you wanted to bring someone up to see if we can get them to get content.
Yeah, I mean, we're putting our reputation on the line in here. Maybe that person's still like, I still don't know what to do.
It will be good. I have a couple questions in the chat for people who are thinking about joining the workshop. So Akmini, for the 3-week workshop, are there one-on-ones with you guys? Technically, no, but practically, yes. Let me explain. There's 5 1-hour calls every week, followed by an hour of implementation if they're not the bonus call. What does that actually mean in practice? We're going to have a tight-knit group. This is the first one. We want everyone to have the absolute best time, make crazy case studies, and then charge $1 bajillion next time. That's my master plan, okay? And for that to happen, the only way I can do that is, let's do this. Is this sharing the right thing? Yeah. The only way I can do that is I need you guys to have a good time. So basically, on this call, you will ask me questions. And fun fact, if you've ever joined a business community before, 80% of people are just shy and they don't ask questions. So long story short, if you join, you have plenty of time with us. And of course, if you want to have one-to-one time with us, that will be an option and at a very discounted rate because you're our guys. You're a part of the founding member. So for anyone who missed it, before I bring on the hot seat section of the call, essentially, this is happening Monday. So here's the last chance to join. Because you've decided to join the live, you do have a founder bonus where you get 6-month community access. So rather than pay $100 a month later for where you get the community and access, if you join today, you will get 600 euros worth of access. If you want to join, just DM me on LinkedIn and I'll send you the full description and the offers. But long story short, this will happen. So this is all the stuff you get. If you can't make a meeting, guess what? It's recorded on a Netflix style platform. Everyone is already on Slack. We have over 10 people there right now with about 5 more joining. So this is going to be a nice tight-knit community. We have content outbound offer scaling. As you saw, we have Frank, Ali, Harry, Ada, and Norshin. And you get free access to Hive Mind mixers. And we have loads of people who already attended those and can tell you what those are as well. So great question, Alchemy. Now it's time for the hot seats. So I will bring good old Hannah on the screen. So let's hide. Yay. And then boom. Hi, Hannah.
Hey.
Hey, how are we doing?
Alive.
Alive. Love it. Great. Hannah, I would love to say, first of all, thank you. And congratulations. You were the first person to join the Hive Mind Academy. Did you know that?
Oh, was I?
Yeah, number 1.
Well, I am your biggest fan.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So for everyone listening at home, Hannah is incredibly impressive. So mother of 2 who in the games industry built a successful recruitment business and made a whole new business model, which 20-plus-year-old companies tried to copy. Is that right?
Yep.
There you go. It's like, that's how, and I mean that as the biggest compliment, basically. So I would love for you to do 2 things. So we're going to help you with content, if you don't mind. It's a bit random, but
Sure.
if you want to get some content ideas, Ali and I can help you kind of map out the next 2 weeks. And yeah, for anyone who's on the fence, who's tuning in, we've got most people stayed for the entire call about Hive Mind Academy. Maybe you can share like why you joined and why it might be useful.
Yeah, sure. So I followed Harry with the thanks and shout out to Salim. I've seen him on the chat before. Don't know if he's still there. But Salim basically said, when he was mentoring me, he said, you need to spend an hour, the best $100 I ever spent in my life. No word of a lie. This was when Harry was first starting in his business and whatnot. And honest to God, he blew my mind. I learned so much in that hour than I did in my entire career. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, it led from that actually. From there, I just started following Harry, and Harry with his content, he's always learn something, do teach himself. So it's sung from the same hymn page as me, and I just followed from there. And then thanks to Ali, who I also met after, you see the ripple effect. Yeah, Salim introduces me to Harry introduces me. Yeah, the beauty of LinkedIn networking in action there, people. Ali was the one who introduced me to the lovely Max, who I seen in the chat. Max is the one who did my whole LinkedIn baba boom, which I do love. He understood what I was after. He understood my vision and my passions, and more importantly, he understood that my favorite color is blue. So yeah, I don't know how much I'm gonna get roasted on this seat for my LinkedIn profile, but yeah, that would be
No.
that would be interesting. But the
Only if
reason
you
why
want
I
it.
sorry.
Sorry, I was going to say only if you want it. We don't have to roast.
I'll take it on the chin, May. I don't skip classes in when I do mistakes. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
teach away. The reason why I signed up and grabbed it with both hands is first and foremost this, Harry. If you guys didn't join the masterclass over the weekend, was it last weekend, Harry, or the weekend before?
It was last weekend. It's been a long week.
God, tell me about it. I've been talking to Asia, Australia, and God knows what other time zones. But yeah, Harry did lose his mind a bit. He gave a bunch of freebies and like mind blowing gems on the call on the masterclass. It was the best weekend I've ever spent my time on, productively learning. And yeah, when he offered, I just grabbed it with both hands. Hive Mind Academy, honestly, 3 weeks cohort. Here we come, baby.
Yeah, I'm ready. Lovely. So let's get some content. So we also have another guest. I'm going to add her to the stream. So she's also decided to join. So if she will allow me, I'm going to press the allow button. Your camera and mic is off, so you turn it on when you want to. No stress. But Ali, Hannah, do you want some help with content? Do you want to get some new?
I wouldn't say no to you,
All right.
Harry.
Okay, but I would love Ali to do this because he's really good at seeing angles. So I'm going to remove this little ticker, and basically, where do you think you're struggling with content? So what type of content ideas would you like to do more of? And let's see if we can uncover a few today. Hi, Vivian.
Where I'm struggling, honest to God, it's time. I don't have the time, and I don't have the brain capacity. No matter how early I start my day, and your cousin Naz would tell you this, I start my day like 4 o'clock, 5. Like your offer brainstorm sent me down a rabbit hole. It woke me up at 1:30 in the morning, and I didn't stop until 4 o'clock in the morning to finish that offer brainstorm thing. Like, yeah. So time, no matter how early I wake up, I just don't have the time, mate. And naturally that affects my creativity and content writing.
Alrighty, Ali, you are the go at writing fast, so I'll leave it to you.
I I do have an amazing business as a VC. I'm a head of education. I write content. I help a lot of people. I teach. I speak. I travel. I have a family and have friends, and I play games. So I can say I'm quite busy, or make myself busier than I should. So not having time to make content, which is gonna drive our business, is unacceptable. We cannot say this. We cannot live with this fact. We need to. This is our business, and we cannot complain that our business is not working if we're not putting the time. But then I figured it out. To be honest, let's be realistic. Committing time to do this certain task is quite difficult. So everyone knows this, but I don't believe enough people implementing it. Micro learning. So this is something I've been doing for years and always put me ahead of the curve. I know my industry. I know what game went out today. I know everything about the industry because I've allocated 15 minutes a day in the evening to watch the news about my industry. You can choose what time works for you. I read 10 pages a day from a book. I just finished the plague, Black Death, the plague that hit Europe. So now I'm gonna jump to a new book, 10 pages a day. And now I'm gonna ask Harry, just an example. Do you know how many books you finish if you read 10 pages only?
I thought it's 10 a year. I don't know if I got it right.
That's correct. You finish up to 10 books if you're talking about average books around 300, 350 pages. So if you do micro learning, you stay ahead of the trend. But here's the cool part that you can also, it's relevant to your industry, means that you'll be inspired by the latest news. The more you practice seeing angle in your industry, seeing struggles, you'll start by doing the micro learning, you'll start capturing ideas. And these ideas will be going immediately to your to-doist. So this is what I do. So I'm going home after this lovely afternoon with you guys. I'm gonna be studying the industry for 15 minutes. I will be brainstorming at least 3 ideas. These ideas will become hooks, which is a technique we do, me and Harry and all these people. Hooks is super important and takes the most amount of time to learn. And if you think in hooks, you store your idea in a hook will make the job a lot easier to write it down when the time to write it down. So Selim introduced me to Harry, end up Max making the design that shaped my career. This is a hook came to my mind in like literally a few seconds, which is a fun story. Is like someone introduced to someone, then someone designed your agency. What's going on? Tell me more. Then
Lesson.
this is took me just hearing this quickly. So when you practice this, you'll be home a machine. You'll be sitting home learning your industry, writing ideas, and then you find the sweet spot when your brain is calm or when you're writing mode. So and you sit down and you write as much as possible, and you have a bank of ideas that you have stored. So this is how I managed to stay ahead of the knowing everything in my industry. This is how I always end up having fresh ideas, angles, and this is how I store my ideas as hooks. So this is my technique of doing it. And yeah, so this is hopefully it's helpful. So I use Todoist if you want to go a bit more tech and tools. So you remember Harry, it's a tool I introduced you to in Barcelona.
Yeah, it's a great. I think little meta note. If you're struggling with writing, it might be because the idea is being done while you are writing. So separate those two things. And the way
100%.
I've done that when I was struggling, now I don't struggle because like I have to either talk about my world, my events, or marketing. Like I know what I should post. I just need to post it. But if you don't know what to post, this is what I do, which is my version of what Ali said, and it worked for me for a long time. On my little Google Notes, I just have something called post ideas. When I open that, usually either I'm on a plane or I during that 15-minute section, I'm like, okay, what idea should I do? And then I just write one-liners or things that could be posts. And then I'm like, shit, what should I post about? I open this, I'm like, okay, I'll take that line. And then I start writing.
I do the same. I do
yeah.
the same. I just put a list and I feel what things I feel closer to me right now or relevant to our industry. When you start practicing this, you will be so smart about finding angles and storing it. It also help you to be way more effective. Yeah, so this is how I do about being busy and I want to make content.
Do you guys use like pillars in your marketing posts?
I can say how I approach it is we solve problems. So your industry, your company solves the problem of growing a business, technically, which is the same as mine. So when you think of it like that, how can I help someone grow in a business? I can help them, show them that growing a business doesn't have to be this painful. You see how that's quite a broad topic? So like your recruitment, you could talk about how to hire a candidate. That's one kind of branch of the topic of growing. But I'd rather focus it on the problem. Like, why are we hiring a candidate? Why is that a problem? We chunk up always as much as possible. So hiring a candidate is hard. Why am I hiring a candidate? Because I need to grow the business. Why do I want to grow the business? Some people in bigger companies aren't doing it for money. They're doing it because their manager, for example, Ali, when he used to be a producer, he's not thinking bottom line every day. He's probably thinking, I have shit to ship. That's a very different mindset. So if you're speaking to hiring managers, what is their problem when you chunk up hiring a person? Okay, I am spending way too much time at work. I'm spending way too much time in these screening calls with people who are irrelevant. So like these aren't necessarily the problems which you might expect sometimes, because what your problems are isn't what everyone else's problems are. So with how I approach it is we always think about the actual problem itself. So rather than think of pillars, I just think of problems. And in those problems, in my first few months, I only usually focus on mistaken beliefs. It has to be this way. And I show them why it's not. That's why today I didn't spend time saying, here's how you write a hook, here's how you write this. Because if you don't believe it's a problem, you won't write the post. So if you don't believe hiring with a vendor makes sense, You don't care how it works. So what do they need to change from their belief when it comes to recruitment? Because we have some clients who sell recruitment. The things that end up getting inquiries typically is them seeing another similar company change their recruitment process and then have a better life, whether it's no more drowning in CVs or all that jazz.
Yeah, and pillars can guide you, so it's not like against using it, but with experience, you start doing it organically, and you start to be smarter about the ratio of top funnel and bottom funnel. Like you cannot make all your posts about sources of learning and stuff you have done. Is sometimes you need to do a bit in like deep dive test case, how you saved amount of money for a client, how you managed to scale a client, and always ask yourself, like it's a simple method. When you go to LinkedIn, what content drag you to look at, reverse engineer, and let how can I replicate that to my client? Because you saw something, it's painful for you, and why? Ask yourself every time you see a post and you spend time reading it, why you're reading it. There's something. Is it the hook? Is it the photo? Is it the person? Ask yourself, and you can replicate this to your audience. And I'm gonna give a golden tip. This is something I should maybe say for the academy, but let's be generous today. If your target audience are so tricky to get, and usually are, I mean, each one of us, if you are a producer, you're targeting director. If you're a director, you're targeting C-level. Your C-level, you're targeting investor. There's always someone targeting. If your target audience a bit high, hard to get, create a noise in the level below that make it, they can help you reach out to the higher level. Example, I'm a producer. Want to reach to director. Let's say it's a bit hard. What I do, I create enough noise in my producer peers level by showing technique on how to do day-to-day running. So the producer will start interact with my content, means director in their network will see, okay, what's going on in here? Then they will reach out to me. So this is smart ways how you can tackle your ICP. Hopefully that was helpful.
Oh, definitely. I've been taking notes. If you haven't heard me type in.
Love it. Perfect. Thank you so much, Hannah. Feel free to stay as long as you possible, but I know you mentioned you did have somewhere.
I do. I need to go and pick up my little monster.
Lovely. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me. Good to see
Thank
you. See you at the
All right.
academy. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Amazing. She's so sweet. All righty. Let's do that again. So Vivian, I'm going to bring you back on stage. I am now going here. Alrighty. So for everyone who's wondering what that QR code is, if you want a sneak peek in what the academy is and the price, if you scan it, you get it, and you also get the live offer. So 6 months access, and you get a description breakdown of everything you get. If it's something that you're interested in, you want to go faster, I'm very biased, but hey, it's a new chapter. Have a look. Alrighty. Vivian, when you can hear us, we'll go through basically get your story as well and do something similar. So I have a question in the chat. So Christian, great question. Any last advice for the cold DMs? Kind of fighting the feeling of being annoying and being as pertinent as possible. Number one, I have a podcast to share with you. And number two, basically my latest episode, I only talked about that for like the entire 30 minutes. So I will give you 2 minutes of philosophy. So the only reason you feel annoying is because you're thinking about yourself. This is the main thing that is wrong in content, outbound, and honestly, a lot of things in life. You cannot think about yourself when you're working with other human beings. Why? You need to help them get to their dream state before they will ever consider helping you get to your dream state. So I just checked your LinkedIn profile. You speak with production partnerships, coordinator. You also collaborate with 10 external studios, and you might need to get people to maybe use your services or what have you. Maybe you want to get a new job or opportunity. Okay. So what we're trying to do? We don't steal money. No business steals money. They take money for services. People don't just say, oh my God, take my credit card and please get away from me. They're doing it by choice, right? Why would they do that by choice? Because you're helping them. And they think paying you will result in a nice result. So with this in mind, if what we have is useful, it's a gift. It's a gift to other people. I consulted Hannah Wright 1.5 years ago for $100 an hour. That is dream money for me 3 years ago, right? For Hannah, that was a dream outcome. Dream, everyone happy. There is no loser there. So, with what you do, if you feel like you're hurting someone, the reason I'm spending so much time on this is because you don't think your offer is useful, but it is. But maybe we don't want to ask for the partnership straight away. But when do we do that? When you want to get a date with a lady, you don't say, "Will you marry me?" You say, "Hey, what's happening on Saturday?" Have a couple other questions, and then you might ask her out for the date. Now, the way we've seen it work on LinkedIn, and I'm going to grab Vivian, is it just works if you just be really direct and you show you've done your research. I mean this with all my heart. If you just show that you actually have done your research, I'm currently getting a 10% booking rate with this message. I actually have a client that converted, and I'm going to show you the exact message that worked as a little teaser right here. This exact message worked. Hi, I never thanked you for action. Really appreciate you. Saw you were at thing I noticed on LinkedIn. Great work. I'll be straight. I'm shooting my shot. I'm messaging for a reason. One thing I noticed is your X behavior I noticed online could result in bad symptom. For a large company of your size, there's a huge opportunity here, XYZ. The companies I work with already usually have insert good behavior, not just this thing, even though we love to see them. Haha. I'd love the opportunity to chat for 20 minutes and share what I'm seeing work across the industry. Between insert authority line and insert other authority line and insert other authority line, where we host all these people that you probably know, I've got a decent perspective. Goal would be simple. See if there are one or two easy wins you can show up with problem I solve. Worst case, we both met another good human in the industry. Love to chat. 10% booking rate. Do you understand how my life has changed? I used to be flirting. I used to be trying to do everything. I just say, hey, personalized message. So if you want, screenshot it, thank them for the signal, reference something real, own that you're shooting your shot, call out what they're doing is great, call out what they should be doing, explain why the gap matters, ask for a 20-minute call. It always goes to 30, don't worry. State the clear goal of the call, frame that the worst case scenario is still a win, and with a simple human close line, follow up until they say F off, basically. If you go pro, use some tools to organize it all. But yeah, that's like a little 5-minute masterclass. The reason I showed you all of that after I talked about the philosophy is the main reason is that message. You think it's annoying. You only think it's annoying because you're forgetting that you're helping people. So just offer them help.
This is really a nice quick mini masterclass in mindset. Like, just to understand that they need you. There's businesses built on people. They need people to strive to make money. And Christian, you're super talented producer, and you got a really, really nice mentor, which is me, by the way. Yeah, Christian is really talented producer, and you need to understand they are lucky to have your service as you're lucky to have them as an employer. So when you approach them with this, we feel confident in text, we feel confident in the communication if it's in calls. So yeah, it's a great one, and I really like the formula you shared, Harry. Really nice one.
Yeah, it's a recent evolution. I started that 4 weeks ago, and it's been killing, man. Like, we gave it to all clients. Very happy.
Yeah,
Vivian,
people on LinkedIn are different. LinkedIn is people are nice, straight to the point, professional, looking for their businesses, nothing else.
Nice. Lovely. Hi, Vivian. I'm so sorry. Thank you for your time.
Hey, really nice to see you guys. Ali, thanks for me. I took notes of everything you just said to Hannah. It's amazing, the hats. I'm not doing anything of that. So I think I want to start to apply these 15 minutes after my
All
day
right.
ends to be ahead of the car. You just said it. I need only 15 minutes and micro learning. I mean, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Just this nugget, I don't know, people that are watching us right now, or maybe in that replay, can change literally the positioning you're working on.
Exactly that. So Vivian, you've also decided to join the academy, which I'm so happy to have you. So
Yeah.
we started some one-to-one consulting, and I'm the amount of action you're taking is so good. It's so crazy. So I'm just really happy for you. So I'm really looking forward to it. I want to ask you first, kind of, what was maybe the biggest unlock over the last few weeks that you'd like to share with people? Because I feel like your story is so inspirational that I'd love for you to kind of. It's one thing for me and Ali to say it, but you've kind of just gone through this transformation. So yeah, what's been the
Yes.
biggest unlock for you for the last couple of weeks?
Well, and I want to start with what Ali just said to Christian, and this confidence. And also, Harry, you always said it, you have said it to me at least more than once. It's like we are a gift from the universe, and what we have matter. And I think in the moment we step in that particular place where we matter in our and that our service, our product, or whatever we are offering to the world works, I think everything changed. And what it changed for me that 3 weeks is like the confidence you. I don't know how to say it. Like I don't know if you, it's just hearing from you or just talking to you. It's like you just, I don't know, transparent to me. I don't know how to explain it, but you told me, but this works. I did it this way and it works. And I say, if he did it, I can do it myself. And I passed from selling a service at $500 to close 2 deals. 3 times that price, $1,500. And after 2 deals of $2,500. And I think we start, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, this was 3 weeks ago, which is crazy. Yeah. So say that again. You went from a $500 a month offer, and now you closed how much?
$1,500. I closed 2. I received the payment of 2 offer of $1,500. I just tripled my service in 2 weeks, and I don't know. I just got the confidence because I create a robust, maybe a more robust offer, and now I'm selling this to $2,500. I haven't closed any yet, but I'm offering that to the people that book a call with me. It's scary. I gotta say, it's scary. I have this guy that is like, it's like he's so successful. He's so successful in everything he has done, and I gotta say that the first call I got with him, I was terrified, but I was repeating to myself, I am a gift from the universe. What I got, it works. That's why he's here talking with me. He may be 20 years older than me, but he doesn't know what I know. I was repeating that to myself because everything starts from the place when we know that we matter. Actually, I haven't closed that person because this is the scary part. Yet, but I'm looking forward for the academy because I believe that what I'm going to learn, I'm going to apply it, and that's going to be my proof to me and to the whole community because we can do it. We are a gift from the universe. Let's do this.
Yeah, I need to write about that. That's so cool, and
that's a really nice story. Really nice one. Like this is one of the mistakes people do. They try to go at some period of our career. We need some help. Like 1 hour with one person could change your career drastically because it's not 1 hour. It's 20 plus years of experience, 10 years of experience in the field, 5 years experience in the field. You don't have it yet. Could change. Why doing it alone? So always lean to have a mentors or coaches, and that's why exactly that person hiring you, even though you find it's a bit awkward in terms of years of experience, but you know your craft really well. So
yeah. And that's also a leap of faith because I pay Harry what I maybe was making with one client, but I believe. I didn't know how I met you. I met you in a different academy, in a different cohort. And the funny thing, and I always tell this because it's funny. I didn't watch your trainings during the cohort because they were at 5 a.m. my time. So I didn't watch them. In December, 31st of December, I got injured. I got a surgery. So I was like, having more time in my I have more spare time, and I start watching your training. I watched the 4 sessions, and after I watched the 4 session, I was, oh my God, I have to text him. I contact you. We did this session, and everything just changed. So thank you again.
I love it, and it's because you took action, right? Not everyone would watch the recording, and not everyone would message. And we had a quick chat, and it just yeah, I just love the fact that that's why I keep bringing you back, because you're such a good inspiration, because you take action. And that's the main thing that I want everyone to take away. Whatever action you take, whether it's if you had nothing in the bank account and you just follow the advice today, I'm very confident a lot of people will change their life. And if you want to go a bit faster, and just find anyone who you think has already done what you've done. Like, it doesn't have to be the academy, just in general in life. I feel like a lot of people suffer in silence, and they don't have to, you just people have done that. They've been there, done that. Like, how many people, Ali, have you mentored at the future games or these academies? And the people that go far, I'm guessing they ask more questions. Like, we just need to go into it.
100%. Like I call it the extra step or extra mile. It's now required more than ever with all this technology advancement, with all the competitive market. If you don't do this extra steps, I believe you will having hard time to stand out, and to do that by showing up to this kind of cohort, reaching out to people, like learn the micro learning, improve your LinkedIn, improve your presence. If you don't do this, things will be challenging for some people. For the people who do this, to be honest, I mean, we are a live example, all of us. Yeah, you're muted, Harry.
Muted.
Yeah.
Amazing. Great. Manuel has to drop kids, keep doing amazing things. Fantastic. So we'll do a Q&A until we run out of questions. So I'm going to go back in time and look at all the questions. So Elisa, if you're still here, otherwise you might watch us on the recording. Do you think that having LinkedIn Premium makes a big difference, or is a regular account enough? I will answer what my opinion is. So the only benefit of LinkedIn Premium, I believe, is profile views and like a few premium, like extra connection requests. Now, the way I say it is just get Sales Navigator once you're making more than like $1,000 a month. Otherwise, just use the free tool. So Sales Nav costs around $100 depending where you are in the world. And the main use is you can get less of banning, basically. But also the main really useful thing is you can do sales nav searches and find list of people to talk to at much faster rate. So if your time is worth more than $10, $20 an hour, you probably need to get sales nav, because it will just speed up the list building process. Other than that, content wise, I haven't heard anything. So yeah. Vivian, I will unfortunately mute you because I can hear myself. All right, sweet. Okay, so yeah, basically just get sales nav when you're going to do some serious outbound. Otherwise, just use the free tool. You'll be fine.
You can go really far with the free. So you don't need it. You will realize when you need it. That's my 2 cents on it. You will realize, oh, I cannot send more friend request. I want to see who check my profile. Then you will know that you need it. If you don't realize, then you don't.
Love it. Great. Mohammed, you asked, I couldn't join time. Will there be a recording available? Yes, I'll delete it on Sunday, most likely, just to make it fair for everyone. So if you do watch it by Sunday, you will get it. I'll send an email to everyone who signed up. Christian, just to double check if you haven't seen my message. So yes, be direct and straight, shooting your shot, even if it's a bit long, if it's personalized. If you send that to everyone, it's rude. Actual personalized at the stop. Doesn't have to be an essay, just actually personalized to that type of person and try to help them. Amazing. Great. Okay, if anyone else has a question, please put it in the chat. But other than that, Vivian, maybe we can end with, do you want some content ideas? I don't know. Like, how's it going? How's LinkedIn going? I've muted you, by the way. But yeah, I was going to ask you, like, how's your LinkedIn content going? How's your content strategy going? I've muted you. Wait.
Actually,
There we go.
do you hear me now? Great. It's doing great. I'm just changing my approach, but because I used to, just be generic and just working on the inspirational side. And actually, I got a lot of traction on that. I got, so many followers. But when was the time of I was offering something, even a lead magnet, I was seeing like little results. So after we talk, you just gave me some ideas. I'm changing everything. I'm just working the content in a different way, and even I got less engagement. I got more. I mean, calls book. So yeah, I mean, I haven't. I always heard this thing. I mean, that likes doesn't pay the bills. I used to say it, but I have. It's different. Like just hear it or just
Yeah.
say it
It's
and
also
believe
scary,
it.
like when
Yeah,
you
scary.
get a lot of posts with likes. I know Ali's felt it. I felt it. I feel great. And then you do a couple posts, 20, 30 likes, one comment, and you're like, God damn it. But it's what your audience will need. So I think it's always like a balance, right? And I think um, a lot of people get addicted to likes. I will say it like that, and then just follow it. Like I've seen it a lot.
Then you're
Yeah.
following the wrong metric. Ask yourself, like, if I post about something generic, like a quote, if you're being laid off, remember you're not alone. It's something emotional. People will start to like and comment, but ask yourself, will anyone hire you because you posted this? Will anyone have a conversation with you because you posted this? Absolutely not. They're gonna engage with the post because it's emotional, but no one gonna have a conversation with you. No one gonna. So if you keep doing this kind of content, you will have 100,000. I mean, me and her, we can go to 100,000 easily. As soon you put an offer, as soon you put something, no one, no one from this 100,000 will interact with you, and this is exactly what we don't need or want.
Yep. And a very easy example on TikTok, the thing that can get a lot of views, no matter what, who you are, is beautiful travel locations or food. Same thing on Instagram. Why? It's enjoyable. Now, if I make the best travel and food curation channel in the world, and I have 50, 100,000 followers, amazing. Great. Now what? You've curated images from the internet. I will follow you for future curation of images on the internet. How do you monetize that? With the odd Instagram stories? It's like it's not it. Like you need to build trust and authority in yourself because that's ultimately what you're going to be selling. Whether it's you're going to be services or a product, they need to trust you with the product that's going to work. Like the only example where that does work is like if you ever heard, it's a funny way to do it. You can get a fan page of a celebrity, a product who wants to sell to that audience. You can get really good return on ad spend by sponsoring a post on the fan page because the people who follow the fan page tend to still respect it. But that's still like a very nothing burger business. So even in that example where it could work, again, loads of followers, loads of likes. Yay. Why are we here? Build trust and authority. How many people do we need to be trust and authority? One if you want a job. So you see how it's like we're talking to very few people. And to make it really real, Ali Faha was one of the 20 people I had to build a relationship with when I was a recruiter because he was at the moment hiring Unity contractors. One of 20 people in Nordics. That was my only job. Once I had a relationship with all of them, 20 people, I had a quarterly or a monthly call with them, I finished. I LinkedIn, 2,000 followers, 20 were relevant, right? Like, what did I talk about? Not much. I just talked about podcasts, to be honest, at the time. But like, I completed my life's mission as a Unity contractor recruiter, which is 20 people. So people really overestimate how many likes and followers because they think I need 1,000 followers to help one of them. No, just help one of them.
You need
Message
one DM.
them.
To be honest, you need one DM. Like it's not you're not even a like or a comment. You need one DM or someone to book your Calendly, and a lot of those people don't usually interact. In a lot of cases, if you hire up, they will DM you or book you, but they won't write under your post. So, like I said, traction, it doesn't translate to impact and business.
Yeah, love it. So we're going to end on this question. So I do know a little bit about it, but someone I spoke with yesterday who used to work with LinkedIn wrote a nice post. So I'm just going to speak over it because, shout out to Danny.
Danny is amazing.
Yeah, so I had a chat with him yesterday. Great guy. Works at another video-focused content agency. So basically, they did a post. You can find it. An engineer posted it 7 days ago. So basically, he wrote about it quite well. So they're trying to combat the sheer amount of AI content. Every platform is. How are they doing that? They're trying to determine what is valuable. How are they doing that? They can't only look at the content anymore because anyone can post content. So, this is what the number one thing they're doing. Your about section and headline are now context tags. So, when you post content, the reason hashtags were a thing is to help people understand what the content is about. But now there's algorithms, they read the post. So that's why you don't need hashtags anymore. But they go one step further on LinkedIn and read your about section and headline. Case in point, Ali Faha, senior producer. Best believe if he speaks about production or the games industry, they've in the post, in the article, it mentioned that the tags
expert level, like they evaluate your content if you're expert speaking or a fan.
Yeah.
Or
and it's tangential as well, so they will imply production expert in game production, or specific things. So long story short, it's not just evaluating the post. If you're impressive, make sure you fill out your entire profile. That's why if anyone has their headline as I help people, make sure you also include your title and thing, in my opinion. I've always preached that. Just put job title at company. It just makes it super clear. Number two, basically because likes are less valuable than a comment, comments, and the longer the comment. So I've noticed on my post, someone did a big boy comment. I did a big boy reply. We had 5 back and forths. I noticed the post do better after that. And I think Ali, you mentioned it. You had the Ali Faha effect when you did a big, nice comment on a post, and then a lot of people came. It's because you had high authority commenting on a post. LinkedIn had this post is now high authority. Let me push it more. How do we get more of this? Like, what do we do about this information? If your content does not promote conversation, it will not be prioritized. Full stop. That's why whenever I have a post, like my post today, which is about the academy, my post today, I best believe I asked the question at the end, because if no one commented on that, it's just like, this post does not promote conversation. I got 18 comments, which is low for me, but I even asked my team to comment on it. I don't care, because I need a bit of conversation on here, because otherwise it's not a post. Like, for example, this one, it's an announcement. LinkedIn is only going to push it so far. Okay. So with that in mind, if your content is controversial or you actually have a stand, it's also good. Dwell time is one of the most ranking factors. I knew this from the beginning, but now they're probably spending more time. So if someone actually reads your post instead of just likes it, that's worth more. If someone saves your post or sends it to someone, that's more. Time spent reading matters so much versus how quickly you get a thumbs up. Relevance beats recency. Good content reaches people interested in your topic well beyond your first degree network. So, like I said at the start, stop writing posts that could have been written by anyone. Personal experience over generic advice clearly resonated with people. And just to do a cherry on top for you, Alexandra, and everyone here, over the weekend, I don't mind telling you this, my newest content writer wrote content for me. She interviewed me. She told my story. And you know this, Ali, you're probably a bit bored of my content. I just talk about announcements all the time. And then what happened on the weekend? I, God forbid, followed my own advice and posted something personal. It did 7 times better than my average post. And it's literally the story of me getting my first 100 euros and then a big lesson of doing volume. No one else can say this story, but everyone can say this. If your parents are the only voice you listen to, you'll never hear your own. It's like a nice, fun quote. But why did I message this? Because I said my personal story. The packaging matters more than the message, because the message will never be delivered if the packaging isn't believable. So in this case, packaging is the story itself. As you can see, did really well for me. Now, let's look at the metrics, because this one I looked at today, which was really cool. This was crazy. 80 reactions, 115 people clicked my profile. Why do you think this is signaling here? They're counting that as a ranked member. 7 people saved the story about my dad. I don't know why. And then we had 2 people send it to someone and 4 people click book an appointment. So that post, super personal. Maybe it was just a good day. You could say it's a fluke. the post right after. This is on a Sunday, yeah. Again, super personal. 6,000 impressions, and I have a theory. This image produced dwell time because it's, I would like to. My motto is make money, make babies. So here's the actual math. If you haven't seen this post, in Cyprus, if you want 4 babies, you're going to need 125,000. It's going to cost you 20, 30 grand in tax. You spend that much on your lifestyle, and you go, babies are going to cost 48,000. And then I did a post saying why I want this as my mission. And guess what happened? Most founders build a company around a mission statement or culture. I want everyone who works for me to be able to afford the life I'm trying to build. This is beautiful, right? And then I did a link to people to join today's webinar. And then I won't reveal her name. Someone saw this, messaged me, and wants to join my company because, and I said, why? She said this. So cool. Imagine she joins the company now because I wrote a post that was only for me. She only wants to work for me because she saw me care. Again, these are trust building posts. But also,
something quick in here. Sometimes we underestimate the power of our words. Like I've met people, he say, "Oh, I remember your post. It was something really helped me." Like, what post do you mean? They talk about a post I've done a year ago. Can you believe that someone remembers something you said a year ago? I don't even remember the post. So sometimes we need to understand how powerful our experience words. Back to Vivian's point, like sometimes you need to believe that we know a lot, and this one sentence could be enough for a lot of people to take a decision to follow your steps, follow their steps, or join you.
Yeah, and stay in your ecosystem, right? Let's see the stats on this. This was seen by 4,330 people saw my profile. How many of those are going to see my future content? 6 people tried to book a call with me. Wow, that's crazy. That is actually crazy. From me talking about making money because I want children. It's like, that's what I'm trying to say. And then I finally announced an amazing case study. No one cares. That's funny. What I'm trying to say is like stories are everything, guys. So we're going to wrap up. Let's first stop the sharing. So if you stay to the end, which actually most of you did, which is crazy cool. So if you want to get the details of the academy, I've made a little Google Doc. It includes the 6-month community offer. You can scan that, like the people who have. Alexandra, thank you so much. Tanya, thank you so much. Everyone else, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Ali, thank you. Vivian, thank you. I'll start with Vivian. Where can people follow you? What do you post about?
Of course, you can follow me in Vivian Correa, my name, on LinkedIn. I post all about entrepreneurship. My journey in this crazy way of living. I post about creating content on LinkedIn, sales, high ticket sales. That's what I love.
Love it. Amazing. And Ali, 2 hours, 15 minutes, bro. Thank you.
So much. Always pleasure doing this. Like I really like every time we do this, we get at least few people writing to us. Thank you so much. We learned something. This one thing changed something, and this is exactly why we do what we do. And if you wanna learn more about the gaming industry, which is super exciting, about production, investments, I'm your guy. I write. I try to make a good content. So happy to
Love it.
have you.
Thank you, man. Alrighty. Let's all grab some food.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Hey, Dor.
take
Great.
care.
All right. Peace, everyone. If you need anything, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll be happy to reply.